If you haven't heard already, WREXAHM is going to the championship. That's right, Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney's team have gone back to back promotions, but today I'm gonna make them do it all over again. Instead of promoting WREXAHM, I sent them back down to League 2. And obviously, starting out in Season 1, we don't have that much of a budget, so we're making one simple change here. We've traded a semi-aging center back for a young left mid. And we've gotten our first player sale across the line here. There's gonna be a couple of these. Harry Dean transferring out to Bromley, O'Connell leaving to Birmingham City, Aaron James leaving for Grimsby Town, Mark Howard leaving for Chesterfield, Liam Hall to Harrogate Town, Sam Dalby leaving us as well, Billy Waters to Cambridge, Stephen Fletcher to FC Sion. There's way too many strikers in this club. And all those departures gave us enough to bring in a new goalkeeper. Now I know the current goalkeeper is not half bad, 22 years old, 66 rated. For where we're at, he's pretty good. But I couldn't pass up on a good deal and a smart business decision, which is what WREXAHM's all about. So Jorge Texera coming over from Kaiserslautern, 17 years old, 68 rated, 2 ratings higher than our current goalkeeper, but 5 years younger. We also did receive an offer for Paul Mullen, but I don't know if I'm ready to sell him yet. And going into the first game of the season, I really like the way we changed up the team. I converted Bolton to a right mid, and since then he's already grown by 3 ratings. And I'm excited to see how this currently championship worthy side does in League 2 again. But as we currently are sitting 13th in the league in January, we're gonna need to make some changes here to improve the second half of the year. And so we've had to go to the free agency list since a lot of players aren't willing to relocate right now. But we've made a solid pickup here in Horvath coming over, free agent Cam, which means sadly, well, I was gonna say sadly, Elliot Lee has to go. However, a loan offer that I put in actually seemed to go through. Now, Paul Mullen wasn't really getting the goals I was looking for, and we know we're gonna have to replace him soon. So I thought we'd at least fill the void now with Amin Sarr, 69 rated, 1 rating higher, 23 years of age, hoping he can do it for us in League 2. And sadly, Ollie Palmer has signed a pre-contract agreement, and there goes Elliot Lee, 1.5 million into the bank for him. But it's another sad day as Paul Mullen is leaving the club. Mullen has taken them from the National League to the championship. However, in this rebuild, he's just not doing it for us. And at the end of Season 1, it came down to goal difference, but we made a crazy comeback from 13th to 1st place. We are getting automatic promotion to League 1. But Man City won the FA Cup this year, Liverpool won the Carabao Cup, Birmingham City won the BSM Trophy, and the League 2 playoffs are about to begin. But we made some solid transfers here in Season 1. Our top 3 goal scorers were 3 of our transfers. Horvath, only half a season here, 12 goals, 7 assists for him. Gomes a +5 overall this season, 10 goals, 3 assists. And Amin Sarr, I'm going to try and bring him in permanently next season, but 10 goals and 4 assists for him in half a year, great work overall. But this team is heading up to League 1 in Season number 2. Can we go back to back? And we were able to get that deal across the line for Amin Sarr, bringing him over permanently from Lyon for 2.85 million. And for Season 2, we were able to bring in Rogel at center back, as we got a swap deal for him for Okonkwo, our previous goalkeeper. But I still think we need an upgrade to the defense and the midfield here over Evans. So I think that's all I'm going to do in this summer transfer window. And our first signing here is going to be at the right back position. I was thinking about going for a left back, but he's only 21 years old and I'm hoping he can get some growth. And our right back here is already doing just that. 18 years old, 2.6 million, coming over from the German 3rd division. I'm really hoping for good things from this guy. And we have made a replacement at the CDM role as well. A straight swap here. Ethan Arahan coming over from Lincoln City for a swap with George Evans. Otherwise, I'm really happy with this team, and I'm going to give players like Revan at the left back role and Bolton at the right mid role a little bit of time to see just how they do. But here in League 1, I'm hoping for the best. We see the departure of Bickerstaff, Andy Cannon is also gone, and one of our academy prospects, Theo Heath, is going on loan. So this is the squad that I'm hoping is going to take over League 1, or at least not get relegated. Let's find out here. I'm not even going to stop at January. Let's see the whole year. And we ended Season 2 absolutely smoking League 1. Only 3 losses the entire season, 109 points. We're going to the championship in Season number 3. We were knocked out of the FA Cup in round 2, however, and knocked out of the Carabao Cup in round 1. Burton Albion go on to win the BSM Trophy, and Christopher Horvath is an absolute beast. 29 goals, 8 assists, 27 and 8 for Sarr, only going up +1 overall, but scoring quite a bit. And our new CDM is up +5 overall this season. 11 goals too from the CDM is crazy. But this team is getting closer and closer to Premier League ready, and I guess we just got to make some changes in Season 3 in the championship. We've gone back to back. Can we go back to back to back like WREXAHM just did this year? And our first signing of Season number 3 in the championship is going to have to be a left back. back. Sadly, our left back wasn't progressing the way I needed him to, so we've gone out and found one that is going to replace him tenfold. Bali Mumba is coming over from Plymouth Argyle for 4.9 million, 75 overall. We've also decided to upgrade our CDM role, and by upgrade I mean find somebody younger that still has time to grow. So we've completed a straight swap with George Dobson for a Rogue Bonham from Everton. And this season we see James Jones departing, along with Thomas O'Connor, Jacob Mendy leaving as well. And I'm also making a couple more free agent signings just to fill up the squad depth a little bit more, including a backup striker in Jamaican prospect Carlton Dennis, center back prospect Unai Alonso, and left mid prospect Jamie Gonzalez. So heading into season 3 in the championship, this is our squad. Our starting 11 is looking a lot stronger, and our bench is looking 10 times stronger as well. I'm really hoping for good things in season 3. And during the first half of our first season in the championship, Gomes, Horvath, and Sarr are leading the way. However, Gonzalez, who we signed as a backup during the summer, is currently higher rated than Bolton, our current starting right mid. So I think we're going to give him the keys this time and see how the second half of the season goes. But with us being in reach of automatic promotion again, I want to make a couple tweaks just to make sure we get there. But there's only one real change that I want to make to this team, and that's at the center back role. So we have brought in Finn Jelch from Brighton. The 20-year-old 72 rated center back is surely going to be our guy. Gomes, Sarr, and Horvath absolutely dominated this season, and letting Gonzalez in at that right mid role seemed to be the right choice. Because while we didn't qualify for automatic promotion, we are into the promotion playoffs, where we will be facing West Brom. This team is looking pretty solid overall. I do have one sub to make here, but I really like the way this team looks. Let's see, can we do it in game 1 against West Brom? 2-2 draw. It all comes down to game 2. We're having to put our prospective center back in because we had a red card. Let's see if we can do it in game 2 against West Brom. Are we going to the playoff final? Let's find out. 2-1, we are going to the playoff final. 92-minute goal from Horvath takes us there. And we are here in the playoff final. We're facing Luton Town, trying to get in to the Premier League here. We're going to see if this team, if this Wrexham side has it in them to go back to back to back in FC25, just like they did in real life. Can we do it here? Back to back to back. We lose 2-1. And we are not going to the Premier League this year. And so season 4, we are staying in the championship, hoping to get automatic promotion to the Premier League. And here in season 4, truthfully, I'm happy with the team. I don't know if there's much else I want to do here. I think if I can find a good deal on a striker, I might go for it. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to let season 4 play out. And we've decided to go all out on our striker here, using up a lot of our budget. Not only that, we're also swapping our current striker for Victor Brito. So Amin Sarr plus 2 million brings Brito over. The Portuguese striker is 17 years old and only 1 rating lower than Sarr. So what I'm really hoping is that this year in the championship, he can do fantastic things and be Premier League ready by the end of the season. Again, going to free agency to just improve our squad depth. 75 rated left back coming over, Victor Aguirre, 72 rated Cam, Killian Schroeder, and 72 rated center back, Sean Palmer. And somehow in January, we're closer to relegation than even mid-table. And it seems that we're just struggling to score in general. But I don't necessarily have the money to make any good changes, so we're just gonna have to see how the rest of the season goes. I don't know what happened this season. I missed all of it, so you're not going to see anything of what just happened, but we ended up back into 3rd. We went from 17th to 3rd in the last 6 months. I guess that means we went to the playoffs, and we were knocked out by Stoke in the playoffs, in the playoff semi-finals. I mean, going to the playoffs back-to-back is nice, but I did not expect us to come back like that. And it was Jamie Gonzalez who just went crazy in the second half of the season. Victor Brito is up to a 78, which is good, and Gomes up to a 79. Horvath, 85 rated Cam in the championship. We need to get promoted soon. This team is definitely a low to mid Premier League style team. We should not be in the championship next year. If we still are, that might be the video over. We've now gone from 4th to 3rd and hopefully 1st or 2nd next year in the championship. And we've gone for a center back upgrade here. Our defense is looking a lot better than it was a couple years ago. However, we are still struggling with that center back role. So we have brought in what I hope is going to be our last center back for this rebuild, David. Long last Georgian name, 20 years old, 77 rated. We've also got for one other signing here. It is a backup goalkeeper. I know we already had one, but I wanted to improve our backup goalkeeper situation since our goalie is now 82 rated. So this is how our team is looking in season number 5, I think it is, and we're still in the championship. So I'm hoping we can make that leap this year and get Wrexham to the promised land. And of course we did it. Season 3 in the championship. Season 5 overall, we place 2nd in the league. That is automatic promotion, and we are going going to the Premier League in Season 6. Wolves won the FA Cup this year, Liverpool won the Carabao Cup, and it looks like Nottingham Forest is coming up with us. But Victor Brito was the right choice overall. 83 rated at 19 years old, he scored 23 goals in just his second year here with us. And this team is moving up to the Premier League next year, and for the first time ever, we'll have a budget over 10 million. But after 5 long seasons, we have finally arrived in the Premier League. And this squad is pretty solid for the Prem. I'm not saying we're going to go out and win in one season, but I'm not saying we couldn't. However, that doesn't mean we can't make any upgrades. And our first upgrade here is going to be at the right mid position. I know Jamie Gonzalez was doing great there, but we're in the Prem now and the levels have increased. So we're increasing as well. We are bringing over Amari Hutchinson, currently playing at Leeds, coming over for a swap deal with Jamie Gonzalez and a little cash on top. And since both of our center backs have huge potential, I decided to go for a position that didn't and round out our midfield here with a top tier CDM. Nico Gonzalez also coming over from Leeds for a swap deal. I'm excited for this team now. And this is our team heading into the Premier League. Like I said, our defense has great potential, so I'm not too worried about them, but I very much like the way the rest of this team looks. And I wouldn't be surprised if we finish a lot higher than expected. However, it's that time of the video where I have to throw in a twist. You see, in real life, Wrexham did make it to the championship, but they have not made it to the Premier League. So us being here is a privilege already. So to end off this video, we're going to simulate just one season in the Premier League and see that even though this Wrexham team went back to back to back, just how good could Wrexham be in the Premier League? So our Premier League fantasy becomes a reality here in the first game of the season against Spurs. Let's set a baseline for just how good Wrexham might be this year. And game 1 is a 2-1 loss. That doesn't bode well. And in our one and only year in the Premier League, like I said, we survived relegation. We did not go all the way to the top. No one's expecting them to. That being said, no one expected them to get as far as they have in real life. But 13th is pretty solid for your first ever year in the Premier League. And this team performed amazing, with Victor Brito and Gomes being the top goal scorers for the club. This Wrexham squad has created some superstars the same way they've made a name for themselves over the last couple years. So good luck to Wrexham in the championship. We'd love to see you go back to back to back to back. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. And leave a comment down below. Do you think Wrexham is going to go back to back to back again? Anyways, that'll be it for me today, and I appreciate you so much. See you next time. Peace.